All right, are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
I mean, this is the first one.
But it's not the first one. It's the pre-first.
It's the 0.
Yeah,
I guess. Appletinis with Ken and Dan, 0, right?
the podtini.
The podtini. This is the first of many, hopefully, podcasts that we're going to be doing right here out of this space in this basement with guests and everything. What do you think?
Part of the Appletinis cinematic universe.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that we're going to branch out and start doing podcasts, and then we're going to do vlogs. We're going to do YouTube stuff. We're going to do a lot of TikTok. I have a feeling that's
Cooking shows.
Cooking shows.
Yeah.
I would like to do some cooking. I don't really cook. Do you cook?
I do cook, actually.
All right. Well, there you go.
Yeah, because my wife eats very clean, healthy stuff, and I don't. So I have to cook the things that I want to eat.
I don't do any of that. So
yes. So the things that me and my son want to eat, those are the things I cook.
The good stuff. The good stuff, right? The stuff with all the sugar and the fat in it. That's the good
the carbs.
Yes. All right. So welcome, folks, to Podcast 0. I'm Ken Arnold.
I'm Dan Franco.
And we're here to drink appletinis, and we are here to find out about our guests and life and just things that we really are into.
And we want, for those of you who don't know what Appletinis with Ken is, we just kind of wanted to give you one of these that sort of lays out what we've been doing for a few years.
Yeah. I mean, oh my God, Dan, when I started this here in my basement in 2009. I know. I started recording in my edit suite, which is, 10 feet from here. And I started doing those short little goofy videos, and I invited you to come over, and you started to join me. And we created this thing that we've been doing since 2009. For 13 years, we've been doing Appletinis with Ken in some way, shape, or form. So
it's had a lot of lives. Like first it was a recorded show that was edited together and released at some point after, a couple of days after.
Yep.
Then we went live. Facebook Live kind of came around, and then we went live, and we still do those.
Yes, we do.
With a crew of Johnny Giovingo joins us there, and then and sometimes your neighbor just pops in.
Yeah, neighbor Ed comes in, and we have him just have an appletini, and he nods his head a lot and drinks his appletini, which is always fun. No, he's pretty funny actually. Which is kind of cool.
We're not drinking appletinis today. It's been a long day.
It has been a long day. It's late, and we are recording this because we wanted to get it going. We wanted to get started, and we wanted to let you guys know that this is the next step in the evolution of appletinis, which is really
the first step for a lot of you that might just be finding us, just stumbling across and going, "What the hell is this? Appletinis? Why appletinis?"
Well, the reason is when I first started doing this back in 2009, right? I was a big Scrubs fan.
Still are.
And I'm still, yes, I still am a big Scrubs fan. But of course, in the show, Zach Braff, he loved appletinis, and he would go to the bar and order appletinis. And I was like, you know what? What drink is the most, silly drink I could possibly drink and do a show? And since I was a fan of that show, I was like, I'm doing Appletinis with Ken. And and if Zach Braff happens to be listening out there, and Donald Faison, you know what? Come on our show, man. I'd love to have you come on and talk about Appletinis.
Absolutely.
That would be fantastic to have those guys on, because they kind of set us down the road in some of the things that we did. Were inspired by their work on Scrubs. The comedy pilots we shot. Yep. Naked Radio was one of them. Then we did one called Street Legal, and we did what was the other one we did? Oh my God, my brain has we did Para Abnormal, of course. We did that web series,
right?
So
right.
All those things were comedic in nature, and Scrubs was the influence into our work and what we did, which then led us to doing feature films.
Yeah. So we should probably talk about that. Like for people who don't know us, we're actors. But you didn't start out in that world.
I did not. I did not start out as an actor or a film producer, or I never thought that this would be where I wound up my career. When I left college, I was a professional baseball player. That's where I thought that I was going to go and stay in that world for the rest of my life. I thought I was going to play at in the major leagues, and then continue to coach or do whatever, or go into broadcasting or front office or whatever it was. Didn't work out that way. I played for 9 years in the minor leagues, and then I decided to call it quits. And I don't want to say I called it quits. I just, I chose a different path.
Right.
Because I made a decision that I think was best for me and my family at the time.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I was like, baseball stuff, I quit. No, I didn't do it. That wasn't like that. I wanted to spend more time with my family. My wife had just had our second child, and I just wanted to be there for when my kids would do things.
And not in Thunder Bay.
Exactly.
Canada.
Exactly. I didn't want to be doing that stuff in Thunder, or I didn't want to be away while they were, my wife was calling me, they walked today. She said her first word today, and you missed it again.
Yeah.
I didn't want that to be the case. And, it's just funny that I wound up in the entertainment world. I never thought that would be the case, but here I am. I'm doing movies now. I'm an actor. I produce stuff. And you and I became friends a long time ago, working together on The West Wing, and we can get a little more into that. But, that's kind of my story, and we'll get more into that as we do the podcast and we go into this thing. But what about you? I mean, what was your motivation to get into this industry and do what you're doing now?
Yeah, I kind of always was heading down this path. Little side, when I first got to college, a little side detour. I thought I was going to be a sportscaster, but then still that, staying involved in the on camera and then I just continued to, my love for acting kind of just stayed there. So I kept coming back to it. It's like this gravitational pull. So it just kept pulling me back. And as soon as I got out of college, I got involved in the film and television industry here in Baltimore. And that was 20 years ago. And here we are.
What was that?
20. I should have mumbled the first part of that, not the 20.
Yeah, exactly.
The 20 part.
Yeah, the 20 part. But we've known each other since the early 2000s.
Yeah.
So right in there, we kind of met. West Wing. I think I remember meeting you up in Philadelphia too, at like a networking thing.
Yes.
We ran into each other up there.
But I think that was after West Wing.
It may have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may have been. And maybe Colin was with you up there in Philly, or no?
I don't remember. That was the Doppler's Pen Crew. That was a film group that I had back in the day, and a couple of us went up to a networking event in Philly, and ran into Ken, and I think Maria was with you.
Was she?
I think so.
No, it was my girlfriend. No, don't touch. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it was probably her. Yeah, I think it was her. We were up there. Well, my family lives up there, and we were probably in Jersey staying with my family, and then we just went out that night, across the bridge into Philadelphia, went to the networking thing, and then went back to probably my sister's house. So, but it's been a long journey. But here's what I'm going to ask you questions tonight that I'm going to ask guests when they come on the show. But what was it that, what's your passion in this thing? What's the thing that drives you to do this and keep doing it?
It's just I had the opportunity to be on set today. It's just that moment when you get to, whether it's the curtain up or the lights up or action, it's just that moment that you get to kind of drop everything else and just be present, in a reality that isn't your own. So that, for me, that's what it is. It's kind of taking on that other life or someone else's skin. I think it's just a rush, and I've never, you can't shake it, and it's just something that I absolutely love.
That's awesome. You start out doing one thing in this world, right? And then you find it something else. And then all of a sudden it just draws you and gives you that rush and that's what it did for me.
Yeah.
I started taking acting classes when I was still playing baseball, and I had no idea because I never took an acting class when I was younger. I was never in the theater. I was always in the sports. And it was always about, playing on a team and doing team drills and doing sports stuff, and I never had that atmosphere of doing a monologue or doing a play or doing improv, any of that stuff. I didn't learn any of that when I was younger. And I started doing these things and realizing that I had that in me, that ability to be creative, that ability to have okay comedic timing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was okay at it. And then I just realized that I had to hone it. And then things started to come together that were similar in sports and then similar in this world as well, in the entertainment industry, that you got to put the work in. You got to practice. You got to rehearse. You've got to do the things to get better. And if you don't, you're going to fall behind and you're not going to succeed.
No, you just recently were on a podcast and you were talking about that it's not enough to have talent. There's a lot of people that have talent. There's a lot of people who don't do those things that have talent that just never worked at it, that never took the time to build it out beyond that.
Yeah, so. And it's the same in the sports world as it is in this world. You see people who are really talented folks. I mean, they're really talented, but they don't put any work into it. Yeah. And then they kind of wonder why. Well, why am I not working? Well, why am I not doing this? Why didn't I get to the big leagues? Why am I, Well, you didn't put the work in. You had talent, but you didn't hone your craft. You didn't work towards getting better. You just thought your talent was going to take you to wherever it was. And in some cases, it can happen that way.
Yep.
But those cases are very rare. Most actors that you see, they work at it, and they work at it for years before they get a break or whatever it is. They put that work in, and they keep doing it. They do the stage, the theater shows. They do the commercial work. They do the industrial videos like you and I have done.
They're in classes.
They're still. And what do we do?
We work in class. We had a workshop for 11 years.
Yeah, 11 years. We've been doing this since 2009. We've been doing the Actors Club since 2011, 10. 11. Yeah. So we've been doing that almost as long. But it's something that you have to do to get ahead in whatever. I don't care what it is you do. Whether you're a baker. You're a chef, you're a doctor, you're a construction worker, you're a carpenter. You got to put the time in on your craft if you want to be the best or one of the better ones at that. So you just have to do that. So when we get our first guests on here, right, and we start bringing in Steven Spielberg, and we get John Bernthal on the show, which
right.
We could ask him. What do you want to know from these people? What's the one question you would want to ask somebody like that, like a Spielberg?
When can I be in one of your movies?
Besides that, I know you're going to ask that, right. but what's the question that you want to know? What you want to learn from them that got them to where they are?
I think it's different for every person, but I think it's just I'm always interested in you see it in these shows like American Idol, or you see it when somebody, that moment where it went from this is something I want to do to this is something that I now do. Like I love that moment. I love seeing that happen for people. And so I'm always very interested in that. Like what was the moment where it changed and when you knew it changed and how it changed your life. So.
Yeah, it happens to anybody who becomes really successful in anything. They realize at some point that I need to do this. It's who I am. It's ingrained in me. And if I'm not doing it, I'm not going to be happy. Right? I have to be creating. I have to make a movie. I have to be in a show. I've got to be on stage. Right? And if you're on stage that's not your happy place, if that's not where the joy is in your life, no matter what it is, I don't care what it is, whether it's a sport or it's stage or it's on film or whatever your job is. If you're not happy in that moment doing that thing, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Why are you doing it? And I understand that, people have to do things throughout their life. You got to work. You got to do these things to survive, right? We all do that. But you can still find that time to feed that need for your passion. And then, hopefully it transitions into something that becomes a more permanent thing and you start making some money at it and, it becomes what and who you are. right? All the way around. So I would love to ask anybody who comes on the show. I mean, there's probably going to be, one or two main questions that I always ask somebody who comes on the show. What makes you tick? What's the thing that gets you out of bed every morning? What's that thing that, what is it that keeps you going and keeps that drive going, right? And then they're all going to have different answers, obviously, because they're all different people. But I want to know. I want to know from them, man, what's that one thing that gets you up in the morning and gets you going? And just said, all right, one of my main things, and I'm going to ask you the same question, what gets you going? All right. Well, I like to make people laugh.
Yep.
Right. And I can do that by films and, the stuff we do, the comedy films we do, the web series, this show, right? Our podcast, Appletinis, we make people laugh. We try to have fun with that. Right. That's the one thing that gets me up every day. Who can I make laugh today? Who can I make, when they come across me, when they leave, did they feel good after the experience they had with me? That's the thing. So, and what is it for you?
Oh God. Well, I think I'm always just trying to push myself, to get outside of, not falling into the same habits or just getting outside of my comfort zone. I think that's something that I've learned to do over the years, and whether it's being completely ridiculous or pushing myself beyond my what I think is what I can do, what I think my capabilities are, or I think those are the things that really, really drive me. Whether that's in my regular life or my acting life, I think just anytime you can grow, that's where the growth happens outside of your comfort zone. When you get out there and you take a chance, you let yourself be scared, and one or two things happens. Either you miss and you learn from it, you see where the boundary currently is, or you go past it, and that opens a whole bunch of new doors. So that's always really, really cool when you get days like that you can get outside of your safe zone.
And I think that's true. If to become a success at anything in this world, you have to push yourself outside of that safe zone. And if you don't, you're just going to stay in your safe zone, period. You're not going to improve. You're not going to grow. You're not going to get better. You're not going to learn, right? And too many times I get people who come into this industry and come take our classes, whether it's Actors Club or whether they come and take an on-camera class with me or whatever it is. They don't want to take that chance. They don't want to step outside that box that they've been in for most of their life. And they don't want to put that work in. They don't want to feel uncomfortable. They just want to stay in that safe little zone, in that safe little area. And guess what? That's fine, but don't expect big things to happen if you're not willing to take a bigger chance or a bigger risk in the world. Now, I'm not telling you to, sell your house and just to go all in on being an actor or whatever it is, or a filmmaker or whatever it is. But you have to be able to take some risks, and you have to be able to fail, right? Yep. You have to be able to be okay with failing, right? And not think that it's over and it's the only, you learn from it. That's the one thing you have to do. You have to learn. And if you learn from it, then it wasn't a failure. You learned something. You grew. You knew, well, maybe the next time I won't do it that way. Maybe I'll try it a different way. I'll come at it from a different angle, which is fantastic. But I got way too many people coming into these workshops and everything. They want the magic pill. They want the magic bullet. They want to be a star tomorrow. And they're not willing to put the work in like, we've seen people do, and they've become successful. Yep. So I just wish that, I wish I had the magic pill for everybody. Here you go. I'd be a billionaire.
Like limitless.
Yeah, it'd be limitless. Here's the magic pill. Take this, you'd be the best actor in the world. But even if you have talent, doesn't mean you're going to go straight to the top. It really doesn't, I saw a guy post something the other day on Facebook or whatever it was, and he's a younger actor. And he says, well, I don't get it. How does this guy walking down the street get this starring role in Euphoria or whatever it was, the HBO? Or I don't know what's on.
It's on HBO.
It's on HBO.
And Zendaya.
And he said, I don't understand how that guy, because, I put all his work in. I could play that role. I put in years of work and this and that. Dude, it's not about that, right? He was in the right place at the right time. And, sometimes that's how it happens. You need one person to like you and at the right moment in your life. And your entire life will change, right? It just hasn't happened for you yet. But the more you fight it and the more you question it and the more you say you weren't happy for that guy that got that role, that comes back on you. I'm a big believer in karma, man.
Yeah.
If you're not out there going, man, that guy got that role, good for him, man. Maybe he can have it for me. If you're not like that and you're like, oh man, I'm kind of jealous, man. Why did he get that role? Why did I get called in? Why didn't I get an opportunity to audition for that? That shit comes back to get you, man. I'm telling you, it just does.
And you get back what you put out there, and we have a lot of friends across all levels of the acting world, and I think we for the most part, all the people we know, whenever somebody gets one of those moments, everybody else is really happy for them, and it's like this great kind of reinforcing, safe community that we all have developed here, and it's I think it's pretty amazing.
It is, and we're very fortunate that we have that group. And I think everybody needs to find a group, find your people, right? Whether you're a musician or you're a singer or you're an actor or you are a surfer or whatever it is in this world, find your people, the people that will support you in doing what you're doing and aren't going to try and tear you down or make it difficult for you or be negative towards you. I can't stand people like that anymore. I have to remove myself, even if they're my family members. I'm just like, I can't be around you because everything with you is can't, won't, negative. I can't stand words like that,
And make sure you find the people that will bust your balls at the right time.
Yeah.
The right amount of it.
The right amount of it, because that's all part of it. But because you're just having fun. But always know that the people who are close to you are the ones that'll bust your balls the most.
And keep you in check.
They keep you in check.
They keep you from getting too big.
Keep you humble, right? You know what? Right? You always be humble. Always be grateful for everything that you are given in this way. The fact that you got up this morning, you should be grateful for. I got up. I just was gifted another day on this planet. For if you believe in God, great. Then God gifted me another day. If you don't believe in God, that's fine. But you were gifted this day by whatever to go out and make it the best day you possibly can. And if you're already starting out negative, or you're surrounding yourself with people who are just beating you down all the time and telling you stink or you're not good or you're never going to do that, then guess what? It starts to sink in and but you got to get out there. You got to find your people that support you like we do at Actors Club, right? Those people, for the most part, I think are all positive people. I would like to think so. So, and I'm not a person in that group that I don't want to succeed. I want everybody who comes in and does it. And,
absolutely.
Let's go. Because you're only helping the rest of us.
But
if you succeed.
What would I say? The rising tide, all the ships, raises all the ships.
Yeah. That is true. That is a true thing. So
one of the things we said we're going to ask all of our guests that come on, since this is a show, Appletinis is in the title.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to ask them a couple questions about their favorite drinks, assuming they drink.
Yeah, and some people may not, and they say, well, I like non-alcoholic smoothies or whatever. That's cool.
That's cool. So what is your favorite bar?
My favorite bar,
yes,
that I like to go to and hang out. I'd like to go to Davis's Pub, which is a local, little, bar. I don't want to call it a dive bar because it's not a dive, but it's all local people. You walk in, everybody.
It's like your own Cheers.
Yeah, you're going to see somebody you have somebody to talk to. You're going to sit there. They have good draft beer. They have craft beer. They have, they can make an appletini if I want one. They have good whiskey and bourbon, and if you want that. But That's the kind of bar I would like to hang out in. Are there nice bars that? Well, hell yeah. Who doesn't like to go down to sit at Luna's Steakhouse and order a really nice drink at their bar?
Which I still owe you a steak, by the way. We had a fantasy football bet.
That's true.
I still owe him a steak down at Luna's in Annapolis.
Well, I'm waiting, man.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I'm here. I'm like, it's just down the street. I'm waiting for my steak. But how about you?
My favorite bar is probably it's a place in Frederick, Maryland called Hooch and Banter, and they have a great bar staff. I think the guy's name is Jeff, and he is like the master mixologist there, and they have some just an awesome cocktail menu. But my go-to is a Manhattan. So that's always my go-to drink when I'm out.
Man, those things kick you in the butt.
They will.
Manhattan. I mean, it's not to say that Appletinis don't do the same, because we've had some nights where we're 2 or 3 in, and we were like, "Whoa, hold on,
I'm not going home." We're gonna sleep on your couch and watch John Wick.
Exactly. That's what we did that one time. We watched John Wick 1 and 2, and then you were like, "All right, I think I can go home now." All right, head out. You gotta go to work tomorrow. Oh, that's hysterical. Yeah, I mean, there's so many cool bars and places now that you can go with, craft brewery places, the wine places. I know you love going to the wine, the vineyards and stuff like that. And now I'm getting more into the wine. I hadn't been when I was younger, but recently I've really been getting into it because the beer was putting a little bit of weight on me. And my doctor told me I needed to lose 40 pounds. And I was like, 40 pounds? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, man. So he's like, cut out the beer. He goes, you can have a glass of wine a day or two. I was like, all right, well, then, maybe that'll be what I transition over to. So I've been drinking more wine, a lot less beer.
Yeah.
And I've lost 20 pounds.
Nice.
I got another 20 to go. But,
I don't know when it happened. It's been probably before COVID. Just somewhere along the way, I just stopped drinking beer. I don't know why or how. I always after I drank it, I always felt really just bloated. So I was just like, I don't feel good, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, that's the wheat, man.
Yeah.
It makes me feel bloated because it makes me retain water, which makes you feel bloated. So it's not to say that I don't drink beer still. I do, but I just don't, overdo it.
Right.
But, instead of, drinking 2 or 3 a day, I'm down to 2 or 3 a week.
I'm down to 2 or 3 a year.
Yeah, which helps. So which helps a lot. But I'm still going to brew beer because I like brewing beer. I think it's fun. I think it's a good hobby.
Right around the time we started brewing beer is when I stopped drinking it. So go figure.
Which is fun. Maybe you didn't like the beer I was brewing and you didn't want to tell me.
No, I liked the beer we were brewing. We had a couple really good ones.
I know the first one we made, the Kolsch in the red.
The red and the English ale, was it? Or what we call it, the Mad King or something like that.
Man, that was good.
That was really good.
That was good. I was like, oh, man. So strong, too. That was a strong one.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to having guests on the show. I'm looking forward to just questioning people about their passion. You're a writer. What makes you tick? What makes you write? What do you do that separates you and makes you a successful person, a successful writer, or a filmmaker, or a musician? Because I'm going to bring on as many guests as we can get. I'll bring on doctors. I'll bring on anybody, any profession, as long as they come on and they want to talk about their passion for the thing that it is that they do. Right. That's what I want. I want to talk to people who are passionate about what they do.
I just read Storyteller, which is the Dave Grohl book that he put out right before the holidays, I think. And it was a weird time to be reading that, seeing as the drummer for Foo Fighters Taylor Hawkins just died.
Mm-hmm.
But because the book dives a lot into how crushed Dave was after Kurt Cobain died, and then a childhood friend of his as well. So, and then you're reading that and just knowing that he went through it again with this, with Taylor, who was his current best friend for the last 20 years. But the guy just right there, just reading it on the page, like the passion that he has for music and for making music and for rock and roll, it just jumped out. It was really kind of infectious. So it was an incredible read. I blasted through it in like 3 days.
That word you just said, I liked what you said. It was infectious. That's the type of person I want to talk to.
Yep.
On our podcast. I want to bring people on, and I want to find out from them what makes them tick, and then how is it infectious to others? How do they get other people into it, like they're into it?
Yeah.
What is it about them? What is it about their energy that brings people to that what do you call it? It's like an it factor almost.
Yeah.
Like you can't put your finger on it, but they got it. It's there.
Like a magnetism.
Yeah.
Like draws people in.
Yeah.
Tractor beam.
It's crazy. You're flipping through a TV channel, and then all of a sudden you come on one and you're just like, why am I so interested in this actor or this person when, I just passed 10 people I could care less about?
Right.
Why did that person draw me in? So it's that those are the type of people I want to talk to on our show. And I just want to find out what makes them tick, man. What's their passion? What are they doing? What's going on? Tell me about it. You love making movies. Why? You love making music. Why? You love painting pictures. Why? You love writing books. Why?
Yeah.
Why did you do that? And what pushed you to get it done? Because getting stuff done ain't easy, Dan. You know that.
I do.
And it's hard work, and there's a lot of pitfalls, and there's a lot of roadblocks, and there are people who you thought were going to help you who get in your way. And you're like, what the hell? So
yeah, and you are one of those people. People. The listeners might not know, or the watchers. I guess we're gonna have this on YouTube too.
Yeah, we're gonna.
So you can watch it, or you can just listen to it on whatever place you like to listen to your podcast.
Whatever platform. Yeah.
Hey, you know what we didn't do?
What?
We didn't play the theme song.
Well, then we should do that now. Are you ready?
We should play the theme song.
I think we should play our theme song by none other than.
Jeremy Ragsdale.
Yes, I know. I was waiting. I was like, you're waiting for me to jump in. By none other than
Jeremy Ragsdale.
All right, let's play it now. You ready?
Let's do it.
And Appletinis with Ken. Appletinis with Ken. Oh yeah. Appletinis with Ken. Oh, 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 oh. Appletinis with Ken. Oh, oh yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Appletinis with Ken. Appletinis with Ken. Oh yeah.
Whoa, whoa.
Exactly. And we're back. That was good.
That's great.
I know. That's a good song, right?
It is great.
He made that up one night when he was doing a YouTube live show for me, and I was like, "Dude, can I just have that?" And he goes, "Yeah, go ahead." He's like, "Yep."
Now, he used to be your son's vocal teacher.
Coach. Yeah, he was my son's vocal coach. My son Kenny, he's a musician, and when he was in high school, that was his vocal coach. Helped him and made him a better artist. My son made him a better singer. I mean, and then he went on and won. In Romania, he won their version of it was the X Factor. He won Romanian X Factor as a singer. Jeremy Ragsdale. He went over there. So if you look up Jeremy Ragsdale on YouTube, you can watch his performances on Romanian X Factor.
Very cool.
It was just kind of cool. So and he won that, and then he lived over there for a bit. Now he's back here, and he's doing shows around the area. He does a lot out at MGM Grand, the casino. And just south of DC. So if you get a chance to get out there and check out Jeremy Ragsdale, go ahead. He's one hell of a singer.
But what I was saying before we realized we hadn't played the theme song, you're one of those people that we've got. There's a ton of people. We've had 2 movies now released. And it's one thing to get a movie that you're part of that breaks. If you're an actor or an independent musician or whatever it is, you put art out there, you put your movies out there, you put your music out there, and it might find an audience, it might not, But we had a movie that broke through, The Night Watchman, and it got released, it got seen, it gets great reviews. It's we call it a real movie, and then you did it again, and and you and the production team. But I really want to say that you're like this driving force. I think that the glue that kind of keeps this engine held together, the duct tape.
I'm trying, and there are some times, Dan, when I'm just like, that's it, I'm done. I'm done. But then I take a step back and I'm just like, you know what? I got a lot of people, a lot of talented people surrounding me. And I know that, not that they're counting on me, but I kind of feel like because they've lent me their talents and they've put so much hard work into what we're doing, is that I got to make this the best thing that I can possibly make it and get it done and get it out there so that people can enjoy what we've created. So, and it's, sometimes it's really difficult. It's really hard. It seems like you're staring up a mountain of just problems just to make it happen. But, you pick your battles, you one at a time, get them out of the way, cross those hurdles. And then you eventually get done and get this thing finished and get it out there. The Night Watchman, it really successful around the world, right? Yeah. So, we screened in Malaysia. You could go to the movies, you could watch us in Malaysia, which was amazing.
You could decide between Logan or us.
Or us. You can go and watch our film. And that was kind of cool. But you know how I know our film was really successful around the world? The amount of times it was pirated.
Right.
Which is ridiculous because I'm coming across these pirate sites and we've got 300,000, 400,000, a million views on these pirated sites. And I'm like, oh my God, that many people around the world are watching our movie or watching me, watching Dan on the screen doing what we do. Right? It's crazy. It's insane. Now, hopefully with the new one we just released, we don't have as big of an issue as we did with The Night Watchman being pirated. But, it's out there now. Comedy of Horrors Volume 1. You see the poster right here on the back of my computer. But we just released that one, and it's doing well right now. And I'm hoping it'll grow, and people will hear about it word of mouth. Grassroots kind of a campaign to get it out there and get things going. And it seems to be doing well right now. Then we'll see if we can't keep doing that. When we hit the horror conventions coming up this year, we're going to hit a couple of those. We're going to promote it there. We're doing social media ads when we can and where we can, because everything costs money.
Yeah.
And independent filmmaking,
not a lot of money.
There's not a lot of money a lot of times, but we're making it happen. And I'm just glad that we can keep creating, and we're going to keep creating. We're going to keep doing these things, and it's just what I want to do. That's the good thing with baseball, Dan. I knew there was going to be an end to my playing days. That was it. There's, I can only play a certain amount of time, and then that window closed. Right? I could have went into coaching, but I just didn't want to do that. But with acting, to the day I die, I'm gonna as I'm going down, as they're putting me in the ground, I'm gonna be like, and this is my final moment, and then I'm just gonna, and then I'm gonna say, how was that, guys? Is it good? All right, I'm out. And then I'm actually going to die.
Please review it. Like it and review it.
Yes, please. Go to Amazon and write a review of my dad. That would be fantastic. And then give me 5 out of 5 stars, please.
Right.
That was a good dad. It was a good dad. I didn't buy it, though. I didn't buy it.
So the good news is your death will get pirated. You have a lot of pirate streams.
And I will make as much money off of that as I did off of Night Watchman.
Right.
Great. If I had a nickel, even a penny for every time that it was pirated or viewed, good God.
Make another movie.
We could. We could probably make at least a short.
Right.
Which would be great. But the cool thing, Dan, and you say that I'm the driving force, but I also got good people around me, like you, right? Who, whenever I need you or I ask for your help, you're there. You're always supporting me and all the stupid stuff I ask you to do, right? The Appletinis, whatever it is, you're like, sure. Wow,
yeah, I'm in.
Whatever, let's just do it. But yeah, I mean, and that's the good thing about it, is that I have friends like you and people who want to keep, just creating stuff and making stuff happen. So, I thank you for doing that, because, like I said, I feel like I owe it to you. I feel like I owe it to Luke. I feel like I owe it to these people that are trying to help me to make these, make this stuff the best that I can do. And, and then get it out there and just promote the living daylights out of it, which, and people go, yeah, Ken's making these movies, but he's doing it all for himself. Nah, I wish. No. I wish that, all the attention came on me. I try to get it out to, and whoever is in it or worked on it or whatever it is, I want them to succeed as well, not just me. I'm in some of the stuff, but the older I get, the less likely that's going to happen.
Right.
So,
I watched this show, Hot Ones. Do you watch Hot Ones?
No.
Oh, you haven't watched Hot Ones?
What is it?
Great show. It's an interview show, and they eat the wings.
John Bernthal was on that.
Yeah.
I did watch his episode. I did.
He was just a cheese, like he was just throwing them down. He didn't even blink.
Yeah, I would have been crying like a baby.
Pete Davidson melted from the inside out. Like all of his pores in his face were oozing liquids, snot and tears and fire but there's one thing at the end. He's like, okay, camera's right there. 20 seconds. What do you want to pitch? What do you want to talk about? Mm-hmm. So you got something you should talk about.
What's that?
I think it's actually 36 minutes in.
It's probably I've already been on, but I will shoot it out there right now. So if you get a chance, go to HBO or HBO Max. Tonight was the premiere, which was the 25th of April. So we're recording this on the 25th of April, but you can watch it on HBO Max. It's called We Own This City. It's based off of a book by Fenton, the writer for the Baltimore Sun. It's based on a true story about the Baltimore police force and the corrupt cops and the police force that were arrested for the many things that they did wrong. It's that story and the police brutality and the things that they did that, when you look at the Freddie Gray situation and all that, you're just like, oh man, how did that happen? But this kind of tells that story and kind of sheds a light on that so that in the future, things like that do not happen. Right. That's what this is about. We Own This City, starring John Bernthal, the Punisher. He's been in so many other, The Wolf of Wall Street, and just so many other things. The Accountant. I mean, the list goes on and on. But I was fortunate enough to be in that, and I had a pretty decent role. So I was kind of happy. So if you get a chance, watch We Own the City on HBO Max. You may see my face. I don't have the beard, but maybe in the next one I'll have the beard. We Own the City too. I don't think there's going to be.
We lease the city.
Yes, I know.
It's a lower budget.
But what do you got going on though? What's going on with Dan Franco in your world? I know you worked on a film today.
I did. I'm working on a short film. It's an adaptation of a sci-fi novel. I play a character that's sort of a Doctor Who-ish, kind of a time independent character, I guess. So it's called Coffee with Golconda. And so I was shooting that today. It's my second day. We shot a little bit back in February, and we were doing a little bit more today. Just wrapped up a play back on stage for the first time in 25 years. You want to talk about doing something that scares you and stepping back out of your comfort zone. For the last 20 years, I've been, cut. Okay, we can go back and do that again. Like getting out there in front of an audience and feeling a line go sideways and having to kind of come back around to it. That was a bit scary. So,
but you nailed it. I came out to see the show, and you guys looked like you were having a great time. Yeah, it's a funny show. It's got some really funny stuff in it, and of course, you were out there having fun. And I didn't notice you mess up, but I don't know all the words. So
right.
If I'd have known the words, I'd have yelled out, "You blew that, buddy!" Can you imagine you're up on stage and I'm in the audience going, you blew that line for a go. That would be the worst.
What the old guys on the Muppets?
Yeah. We're like, that's awful. What are you doing? Throwing some trash at Yankee fans.
Oh my God.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh man, that was the worst. Those guys, those people.
And then that center fielder blew a play the next day, and they just let him have it.
So anyway, well, it should, that stuff shouldn't happen. But
Yeah.
And
So-
anyway, what else do we have on our list of fun things to talk about?
I think we're toward the end.
All right, yeah, we're and like I said, we're gonna have people on here, and if you are listening to this, send us some ideas.
Yep.
Where could they send those ideas? Man?
You can send them to Twitter, Appletinis WKen. So it's not the full width. So Appletinis WKen, and it might be over my head. I don't know. I think
It
we're gonna
will
do
be.
something. Okay.
I will put it in the post production and make it happen.
So you can find us on Twitter, Appletinis WKen. I think we're on Instagram. And we're on Facebook. And,
Yes.
And we still do the live shows on Facebook. So every now and then you'll see us pop live over there. So follow us there. Follow us on YouTube.
Yes, and these will be on YouTube as well, but they'll also be on your favorite podcast site. So Spotify and Podbean and Apple, iTunes, and they'll be on there. There'll be more, but I haven't gotten to the list just yet.
So if you
all
can
places.
listen to us on the way into work or while I listen to podcasts while I'm mowing the yard.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of investing podcasts lately.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been, because I don't have any money, and I'm trying to at least accumulate a little bit of money before I die.
Right. Before your death performance,
Exactly. Before I
your 5-star death.
That's it. I made a little bit of money. Take what I made. My wife will be like, "Thank you. I'm going shopping." Oh man! But anyway, Dan, I think this is going to be fun. It's going to be informational. We're going to bring these people on. We're going to learn about these people, and that's what I want to do. I want to learn about people. I want to learn what makes them tick. Why do you do what you do? Why do you love it? And I think if we ask them about their passion, we're going to get some really cool answers.
It's always the thing. Like when people just talk about the things that they do, it's one thing. When they talk about the things they love, that's stuff you want to hear. That's stuff that I'm interested in hearing about.
Yeah. And what drives you? What drives you? Why do you get up in the morning? What's the thing that makes you want to paint that painting or write that book or be on stage or whatever it is, make that piece of furniture, whatever it is. What is it? And then we'll dig, man. We'll dig. We'll find out. We'll find out what's going on with folks. And that's what I want to do. I want to learn. I want to learn from people. I want to connect with people. I want to learn about other cultures or all these things I want to do. I want to learn about people. And I've always wanted to learn. And I think that's good for us as actors too, that we need to learn about other things and other cultures and other, around the world.
What's good for us as people to learn about other people?
Yeah, like people. Let's say, I consider myself a people watcher too. Like when I go out in public, I sit and watch people because I'm an actor, and I want to see, like, if I see somebody doing something, why are they doing that? Or, what's the mindset? Why is why? And then if ever I need to play a character in that,
Yeah, I watch people and I just judge.
You just judge them?
Yeah, I sit there and completely judging.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this
Look at
asshole.
that guy. Yeah, exactly. Asshole guy.
A-hole.
Well, maybe we should bring that guy on the show.
Yeah.
Find out why are you an asshole.
What drives you to be an asshole?
I got some people who can bring on the show. What drives you? Never mind. Don't. It was a rhetorical question. I know. Let me tell you. But I think it's going to be cool, Dan. I'm glad we're doing this together.
Yep.
And we'll start. I'm going to start reaching out to people. I'm going to start bringing people on. Some of the people that off the top of my head that I know that will be on the show coming up will be Jamie Nash, writer Jamie Nash.
Yep. Writer director.
Yep. We will get him on the show. We'll get Dan DeLuca, producer, writer, director as well. We'll get Eduardo Sanchez from the Blair Witch Project. We'll have him on the show. And, maybe we'll get Kathy Searle, the extraordinary actor out of New York City. She's pretty funny. I enjoy it.
Very funny.
And then we'll just, see where it grows. We'll get Rain Pryor on the show.
She directed the play that I just did.
Exactly. So we'll get Rain Pryor, Richard Pryor's daughter, Rain Pryor, who is phenomenally talented herself.
And really interesting. She's over in Africa right now.
Yeah, she is.
Studying, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like the a variant of voodoo. like spirituality
Yeah.
and voodoo, and it was really cool. She was telling us about it before our show ended, and so that'd be a great one.
Yeah. And if we could get Tom Selleck on the show, that'd be even cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah. I mean, we've been trying to get him on the show since 2009.
You know what drives him to get out of bed every day?
What?
That mustache.
Oh, my
It,
God.
it leads him. It's got a magnetic pull.
It has its mind of its own.
Yeah.
He has no control.
Hey, Tom, wake up.
Yeah. It's like, get up, time to go, Tom. And he's just like, all right, boom. And then the mustache goes and does its own thing all day long.
Right.
Maybe that's what I'm trying to do here. And I'm trying to get my mustache to. No, it's not going to work. That's not going to work. Damn it, man. Always this close, Dave. Always this close.
So close.
So close, but never going to happen. All right, guys. But yeah, follow us on Twitter, right? One more time.
Appletinis W Ken.
I'm going to put that right up here. And, send us comments, send us questions, send us people you would like to see on the show. And, we'll try to hit those things throughout the show when we're talking.
And if you know Steven Spielberg, please put him in touch with us.
Man, that'd be great. Our booking agent. Do we have a booking agent?
I think you're the booking agent.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm the booking
I guess we're both the booking agent. Whoever answers the message on Twitter.
Whoever we can get to go on our show. Do you have any fans? Not yet. Well, how many episodes have you done? This is our second one.
Hey, officially have 0 episodes.
Yes, but we've got this one.
Right.
This is one. This isn't. We're at even, right? And then the next one will be episode 1.
Right.
This will be episode 0.
Exactly.
Right.
The
mothership.
Appletinis Prime.
Yes, and then everything sprung from
Right.
Appletinis Prime. And then it all happened. And then we're going to talk movies, we're going to talk music, we're going to talk sports, we're going to talk silly stuff. And it's all going to be positive in nature. I really think that that's where we got to keep this in that vein, in that lane where things are positive.
Absolutely.
Now, it doesn't mean we can't get serious about stuff and have serious conversations, but I want to have fun, and I want to learn something by the time we're done.
Right.
All right, Dan. Well, thank you for being on with me today.
Thanks for having me in.
Yeah, and everybody out there, please, if you like this podcast, subscribe, follow, get on our list, and we're going to keep doing these, and hopefully you tune in and you join us for these conversations we're going to have with these people that we bring on, our guests, because it's about them. I want to learn about them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this is the one where we're talking about us. You might get little bits in the ones that come up, but the future episodes are about the guest. And
Yes.
we talk about ourselves enough during the Facebook Live shows and things like that. So
Exactly.
the podcast is going to be a little bit different.
Exactly. All right. Well, Dan, I'm going to cut this off, but thank you for joining me. And we're going to play this theme song.
Oh, we're going to do it again?
Yeah, we're going to do it again. on the
Double
way out.
play.
Right. Here we go. And
Cheers, everybody.
Thanks for joining us, people. We'll talk to you later. Peace.
Appletinis with Ken. Appletinis with Ken. Oh yeah. Appletinis with Ken. Oh, 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 oh. Appletinis with Ken. Oh, oh yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Appletinis with Ken. Appletinis with Ken. Oh yeah.